We need to try and close those gaps.
A Manitoba Indigenous leader is in New York talking about access to clean, safe drinking water on First Nations lands at the United Nations Water Conference, the first event of its kind since 1977. Cindy Woodhouse, Assembly of First Nations Regional Chief for Manitoba, says it's important for her to share the message to the world about the issues First Nations communities in Canada face daily.
It's a significant opportunity to talk about First Nations, to ensure that there is safe drinking water and sanitation for everyone in Canada, and to close the water infrastructure gap between First Nations and Canadians by 2030.
Woodhouse will be speaking twice throughout the event, talking about the UN's goals for sustainable development and discussions around the importance of Canada respecting the inherent rights of First Nations lands.
We're asking for, the same levels of clean drinking water and access to sanitation and all those things water related that everybody else has access to.
Since November 2015, 138 long-term drinking water advisories have been lifted in communities across Canada. But as of February 2023, there are still 32 long-term drinking water advisories still in effect, 3 of which are in Manitoba. Chief Larson Anderson from Norway House Cree Nation in Manitoba says communities like his continue to sound the alarm on this issue, but are constantly ignored.
But we have not given up our right to the water, and that water and our treaty declares and has been signed off by the government, but that water is included in that as long as the river flows. Well, that's a treaty right that's spelled out clearly. And so we're expecting some better relationships moving forward.
Kyle Mason says water is a basic human right. He says the fact that we are still having this conversation about unsafe, unclean drinking water is unjust and frankly frustrating.
I hope it brings attention to this topic internationally, but also nationally. And I hope it motivates the federal government to act even quicker on things. So people can drink their water and we can get on to other issues of reconciliation and healing this land.
Woodhouse says she wants her message to members of the UN to be loud and clear.
We need to, continue the advocacy, continue to push to ensure that the work gets done and, First Nations are ready.
In Winnipeg, Alex Karpa, City News.